You won't believe what Willie Nelson finally said about John Denver after keeping quiet for decades. Think you know everything about country music's most famous rebel? Think again, because Willie just opened up about his real feelings, the friendship you never knew he had, and a secret regret that'll have you looking at both legends in a whole new light. Let's take it back. Imagine Texas in the 1930s. Dust storms, hard times, and a little boy with wild dreams. Willie Nelson growing up in a tiny town called Abbott, raised by his grandparents after his parents split up and left to find work. If you've ever wondered what builds a legend, it's moments like these. Picture little Willie, just 6 years old, hands too small for his guitar, but determined to make it sing. By age 7, he's already writing his own songs. Raw, honest, maybe a little rough around the edges, but real. And by 9, he's on stage with his sister Bobby, playing dance halls and honky tonks, earning tips and applause before he could even drive a car. Now, that's where most stories would say, the rest is history. But with Willie, it's never that simple. The road ahead was anything but smooth. He hustled through his 20s, working every odd job you could think of, selling vacuums, spinning records as a late night DJ, even knocking on doors peddling Bibles, all while chasing his music dream. The country music world in the 50s, tough as nails. Willie's voice wasn't what the industry wanted. His phrasing was different. Record execs said he didn't fit, but he kept writing, kept pushing, and slowly the song started catching fire, first for other artists. Crazy, made famous by Patsy Cline, Nightlife. Funny how time slips away. His lyrics were like country poetry, and people started to notice there was something special about Willie Nelson. But here's the twist. Nashville kept telling him to play by the rules, clean up his look, smooth out the sound. Willie, being Willie, just couldn't do it. He packed up, headed home to Texas, and pretty much invented a whole new branch of country music, outlaw country. Forget the sequins and slick studio tracks. Willie's music was about real life, raw feelings, and that rebel streak running deep. With albums like Shotgun Willie, Red-Headed Stranger, and Stardust, he didn't just break the mold, he tossed it out the window. What really set him apart wasn't just the music, though, it was his soul. The long braids, the battered guitar named Trigger, the gentle grin, all of it became iconic. But the image only scratched the surface. Willie was always more than just a singer. He was a champion for the underdog, a guy who stood up for what mattered: farmers, animals, the planet, and anyone who ever felt like an outsider. He made standing up for people cool, and he never cared who thought otherwise. Remember Farm Aid? That wasn't just another concert. Willie pulled it together with some friends, and it's still going strong, raising millions for American farmers. And if you look at the artists he's played with, nobody else in country music, maybe nobody else in music, period, has crossed as many genres, blended so many worlds. Waylon, Merle, Johnny Cash, Ray Charles, Dolly, Snoop, Sheryl Crow, Norah Jones. The man's playlist reads like a who's who of modern music. The Highwaymen? That was more than a supergroup, that was a statement. But here's where it gets real. Willie's life off stage was just as colorful, sometimes as wild, sometimes as heartbreaking as any country song. 4 marriages, 7 kids, and enough ups and downs to fill a dozen lifetimes. His first marriage was rough, lots of fighting, too much drinking, and tragically, losing his son Billy to suicide years later. He's talked openly about the pain, the mistakes, and the lessons learned. Every heartbreak became a line in a song, another story to tell. His next marriages brought new beginnings and more kids, including Paula and Amy, who've both gone on to make music themselves. But it wasn't until he met Annie, his 4th wife, that things finally felt steady. Annie's been by his side for over 30 years, helping him eat better, live healthier, and maybe slow down just a little, though anyone who's seen Willie lately knows he's still got more energy than guys half his age. These days, they call Maui home, surrounded by music, sunshine, and grandkids. Willie's family, scattered and blended as it is, means everything to him. He draws inspiration from them, and they help keep the music alive. Now, you'd think by the time a guy turns 80, he might want to slow down, but Willie, not a chance. At 81, he released Band of Brothers, a whole album of mostly new songs, no nostalgia, just pure Willie, and it shot straight to the top of the charts. He kept writing, recording, and touring because for him, music isn't just a job, it's a way of life. And if you ever wondered if he could act, well, he's got that covered too. From the Electric Horseman with Robert Redford and Jane Fonda, to playing Uncle Jesse in The Dukes of Hazzard, to popping up in Zoolander 2 just for the fun of it, Willie can steal a scene as easily as he can steal your heart. But let's get to the part you came for, John Denver. For years, fans wondered what Willie really thought about him. Two legends, two very different styles. Denver was known for his clear voice, wholesome image, and songs about nature and hope. Willie was the rebel, the outlaw, the guy who'd rather write a song about heartbreak than about sunshine and blue skies. It seemed like they lived on opposite sides of the musical universe. But the truth? It's way deeper than that. Turns out, behind the scenes, there was real respect and even friendship between Willie and John Denver. Willie kept it quiet, but now, in his 90s, he's finally sharing those memories. He talks about running into John backstage at charity shows, swapping stories about life on the road, the pressure to fit in, and the struggle to stay true to who you are. Willie remembers John saying, "All I want to do is write from the heart, sing it honest. The rest is just noise." That stuck with Willie. Coming from anyone else, it might sound cliche, but from John Denver, it was the plain, simple truth. Willie admits that John's songs, Take Me Home, Country Roads, Sunshine on My Shoulders, Annie's Song, still move him. To Willie, those weren't just chart toppers. They were genuine gifts to the world, and he's frustrated that critics sometimes wrote John off for being too gentle or sentimental. Willie sees it differently. He says it takes real courage to stay soft in a tough world, to keep singing about love and hope when everyone else is trying to be edgy or cool. That, to Willie, is the real kind of strength. When John Denver died so suddenly, taken in a plane crash in 1997, Willie didn't say much at the time. The world lost a gentle, hopeful voice, and Willie says now that he mourned deeply, even if he didn't show it. Looking back, he wishes they'd had the chance to record together, maybe a simple duet, just two country boys harmonizing about life, land, and love. Different roads, Willie says, but the same horizon. So what's the lesson? It's this. It's never too late to say what you feel, to honor the people who've inspired you, even if it's just in a song, a memory, or a conversation backstage. Willie's story, his respect for John Denver, and his own incredible journey are reminders that what lasts isn't the fame or the awards. It's the real connections we make, the truth we share, and the courage it takes to be yourself in a world that keeps trying to tell you who to be. As the sun sets on an epic career, Willie Nelson isn't just a country star. He's a living legend, a storyteller, and proof that you can bend but never break as long as you keep singing your truth. And John Denver, he's right there too, living on in every note, every memory, every country road that takes us home. So here's to Willie, to John, and to all the dreamers who never stop chasing the music. If you felt this story, hit that like button. Drop your favorite Willie or John Denver song in the comments and make sure you're subscribed for more behind-the-scenes legends and untold stories. Because who knows, maybe the next surprise is just around the corner. Until then, keep listening, keep dreaming, and remember, it's never too late to sing your own song.